Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the numerology mini readings with Lindsay Knight. Today is March the 30th, and we are running maybe just a few minutes late, but we're all set to go now. I'm Lloyd. I'm from the Ninth Vibration, and Lindsay is also from the Ninth Vibration. But Lindsay also is the Hermit Numerologist, so she wears two hats. She likes to keep busy.
I don't even wear hats.
Anyways, I'm just going to do a couple of quick announcements for the store. This Friday and this Sunday, the store will be closed on the reason is it's Good Friday and Easter Sunday. So we're going to be closed. However, the good news is that we are in the orange zone, and this is the time that I have been waiting for to get the different readings on at the store. So Lindsay's going to be in on Saturday doing readings at the store, and we're going to be having a good time doing that. So we're going to be closed on Easter Sunday. I am working with a couple of different psychic mediums to iron out some schedules, and we're going to be posting that very shortly as well. So that being said, I'm going to pass this over to Lindsay. If I can get her away from that.
I don't know how to turn the sound off.
Anyways, we're going to be starting right now.
We're running around a little bit, kids, but don't worry about it. We'll be fine. Hello, everyone. I'm Lindsay. This lighting tonight is driving me crazy a little bit. Nice to see you. I'm excited to be reading for you tonight. If you would like a reading, you text Lloyd at 226-750-6534. I'm going to be doing something a little different tonight just because I'm in a weirdo mood. And so I've been connecting with this, the Living Wheel deck that we brought into our store. And, I better turn that sound down. And it's kind of cool because it's all about planets and all that stuff. And I love the planets. I love the stars. I love all of it. In fact, I just recently am going to be buying a zodiac, like 1950s zodiac clock, which I'm really excited about. Let me just turn down my sound. So I'm going to be using these tonight. And so we're looking at the houses. And so I know that there's this thing about the houses and all that, but I'm not going to put aside what I know as a numerologist because I've done it forever. So I created my own little thing about it. I don't want to get astrologers mad at me or anything, but I just want to kind of embrace it in my own way. And so I'm going to be working with this. And so I'm going to just intuitively decide what I need to do for you other than just perhaps the numerology. I don't know. We'll see. The other thing, and I just feel I really need to say this because I've been doing a lot of readings. And let's talk a little bit about hooks. So anybody out there, and I want you to type in yes or no, that feels that they have unresolved issues from a past ex or an ex-husband, and that it's unresolved, where you hold resentment or you hold anger, or you hold emotion connected with this person, because there's no doubt in my mind, if you say yes, then that is clear that you have a hook with this person. Now, the hook may be coming from you, it may be coming from them. All I know is that this hook does not allow you to love in the present. And so when you get into a little, perhaps a little cranky, whatever, with your present partner, everything is triggered from a past. And so it's almost as if those wounds from a relationship that's past has not been resolved, so it resurfaces. So just so you know, I think it's just really interesting, and we can scan for hooks. We can scan to see if they're there, if they're active, if they're dormant, if they're deep, if they're laying on the surface, if they have a color. And I just love that whole, it's very freeing when you actually go in and check and see if you have hooks, and we all have the ability to scan for hooks. So it's just something I definitely have been doing a lot of work around, and I think it's just because people are trying to release themselves from past stuff, and that's where the hooks come in. So I'm going to do the first card, and it's just kind of a general card for all of us tonight, and for those watching the feed. So this is the houses. Let's see what one I pull. Just interested. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Tony. Happy Tuesday. Okay, let's see. So this is the house, the 4. So this is all about empowerment. It's all about leadership. It's about knowledge. It's about wisdom. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone. So one thing I want you to do tomorrow, I want you just to do something that makes you just a little bit uncomfortable. Something that just makes you just a little bit nervous or anxious. And I want you just to do it because it's good for us. It also may have some connection with the Father energy and just the lessons of the Father, relationships with the Father, coming to peace with the Father, making peace with the Father, mending fences. And so really it's all about the energy of 4, which I just think is very cool, very powerful number. Yeah, I'm going to do one more, just in the mood. And then, Lloyd, I'll be ready to rock. How's that grab you?
Excellent.
Okay, cool. Hi, Joanne. Okay, let's see what other card. It'd be cool if we picked the same one. Okay. Here we go. This is 6. So this is all about emotion. So it can be coming into power with your emotion, not feeling so overwhelmed or being driven or kind of led by your emotion, coming to peace with it, confronting it. It's really interesting. I read for a lady today, and she's just this lovely lady, but it's like there's a part of us that resists seeing what's in front of us for whatever reason. So, yeah, we got a 4 and a 6 to make us rock and roll, Lloyd.
Excellent.
So, when you're ready, darling, if there's somebody out there that wants a reading, let's have a look and see. Okay, gotta find my phone. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, love.
Excellent.
Oh, I give you all my papers. Sorry. Can't do that.
I'll take the one.
Thanks, love.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Can you pronounce your name for me?
It's Siobhan.
Siobhan. Wow, that's beautiful. Can you spell it for me?
Yeah, it's Sioban.
Okay.
So it looks like Sioban.
Okay. And how do you say it?
Siobhan.
Siobhan. Wow, that's
Yeah.
very cool. Okay, so looking at your cornerstone letter, which is the first letter of your name, do you see how it's an S? It sort of goes like, and when you look at the letter energy of S, if you were to continue it through, it's the eternity letter. So this lets me know that you're a wizard, that you have great ability to change the energy around you. You change the energy when you walk into a room. I see them sort of as a shapeshifter, so they have ability to wield their energy. So one thing I want you to be really, like when you are focused, you get things done. If you're not interested in anything, then it's like you just absolutely have no interest at all. So for you, you kind of move with the energy of the universe. So you kind of are it's like flexible, non-judgmental, very loving, but at the same time, right beside your first letter is an I, and if you look at it, it looks just like your spine. It's like bam, right there, and it's like, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I know. And with you, the next letter, or right next to it is the O, which is all about fullness and wholeness. So do you understand, like, what kind of work do you do?
I do like self-help kind of stuff.
Yeah, and
I'm currently not working. I was in the carpentry trades.
okay.
I'm currently like just doing stay at home. I'm with the kids right now.
Yeah, and see, you know what I think you should do? This is what I think you should do. I think you should invest in a massage table. And I think what you should do is you have the ability to clear the energy of people and balance and balance and align the chakras and the whole, like you can wash people's fields. And a lot of people need that. You know, we get bogged down with stuff, or we get stuck in our head, or we overanalyze. And with you, and I could almost see you working with feathers and working with ritual smudging. And it's just for when people are ready to let go of things, and that you have the ability to be able to shift all of that and sort of move that. And it really is a shapeshifter and a wizard energy. Also, you have 2 letters in your name that speak of a bridge. So this really is a connection, and it can be a connection to communications from the universe, from people that have passed. But I mean, do you see your H and your A?
Yes.
And do you see how there's a line, and then a line joining it? That's a bridge letter. So that lets me know that you don't like confrontation, you don't like any kind of, you prefer things when they're kind of calm and settled. You don't, often you'll absorb your own energy as before, you know, you would create some sort of conflict. And so just so you know, you have a highly spiritual name. Like, did you know that?
No, I didn't.
And so what's it like for you to hear that?
The stuff that you're saying right now is very comforting, and it's like enlightening, and it's good news.
Yeah, and listen, I don't want you to be comfortable. I'm challenging you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm challenging you, right? I don't want to comfort you. That's not what I do. I'm here to say that I want you to understand the energy that you do. Like, no doubt you have a hard time sitting down, that you always have to have something to do, and that there's this curiosity inside of you that's a spiritual curiosity, and there's no doubt in my mind that there's something inside of you that has happened that has caused you to be on this spiritual path. But I'm here to say that as a result of that, that makes you a spiritual leader. Spiritual leaders come from the ashes. They come from difficulty. They come from a place of having to recover. And the reason that they're spiritual leaders is, in order to do that, anybody, and myself included, it's like you don't know how strong your faith is until you are challenged. Like, would you agree?
Absolutely.
That's right.
I'm actually in the process of a separation right now.
Yeah.
Freshly, and lots of tribulation ahead, and it's really made me realize how much strength I do have in me, leaving that situation and having to manage and step up and be that person that I need to be. So
yes. Well, I'm telling you, listen, we don't just separate. You know what I'm saying? It's over. It's done. It's like, and it takes, like, we stay in it longer usually than we should. You know what I mean? So let me have your birth year.
1980.
See, I'm telling you, straight up, you got some of me in you, and I'm here to say, like, there's no doubt in my mind, in a past life, you understand that you came to this life already wounded, love. And that you definitely have trust issues, and that you definitely have an armor, and that you're cautious, and you believe deep in your heart that sooner or later people are going to leave your life.
Yeah, I guess, like, right now I'm focused on this one particular relationship, but in general, I do fear rejection and people.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this, is that you believe relationships are quite temporary. You know what I mean? Like, that you
people
feel.
come into your life for a purpose, and then once that purpose is discovered, then they will leave, and everything happens for a reason with cosmo.
And all I'm saying is, that's not necessarily true. There are some people that walk beside you. You just have to be open to it. So one thing I want you to really reconsider is that not everyone leaves. Not everyone is going to harm you. Not like you have one of the same aspects as me, and I guarantee that you need the person that you date in the future, because I know you're going to meet the person who's going to make you just shine, is they have to have warm hands. Okay, they've got to be a furnace. Like if you snuggle up to them and they're like, and you feel their hands. The moment I touched Lloyd's hands, he was like a furnace, and I went, oh my God, like where have you been all my life? Your month?
August.
And your day?
24th.
See that? You are a natural born healer. That's what you are, and you're a past life, no doubt in my mind. And being a 5, I mean, when I was on my, and I'm still on a path of recovery, the 2 people that really helped me were both 5s. And I want you to know that you have an absolute connection to a guardianship, and that there's a guardianship that works through you, and everything that you do comes right directly through your crown and out your hands. There is no doubt in my mind, in a past life, that you walked with Christ. And there is no doubt in my mind as well that you were a soldier. And here's the weird thing, is Christ didn't have soldiers, the Romans did. And so there's no doubt in my mind that you came into this life already feeling guilty. And I guarantee the partner that you just separated from absolutely weighed you down. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And he would make you feel, you would just feel absolutely, like I'm just here to say to you, and it's one of these things that what I want you to do is I want you to have a conversation with Christ, because there's no doubt in my mind that you came here feeling guilty. You came here, and there's a reason that we punish ourselves and stay in relationships that absolutely zap and drain our energy. So I want you to have a conversation with Christ, and I want you to call in his essence. I want you to summon him to sit with you. And I want you just to say, there was nothing I could do. I hated what happened to you, but there was nothing I could do. Do I believe that you were a leader? No, I don't. Do I believe you were a soldier? Yes, I do. Do I believe that you witnessed a lot of stuff? You better believe I do. And do I believe that that wounding has been carried forward in this lifetime? Absolutely. And so we brought like Lloyd thought I was a bit nuts, but I wanted bath bombs, and we have this beautiful soul that makes them. We kind of created them together, and with you, it's where you need to soak in the tub and release all of your guilt and all of your shame. And there's no doubt, like you understand, for you there was a fear of exposure.
I guess like fear of exposure.
What that means is you hold back your truth, you hold back who you are, because there's a part of you that's afraid of your power because of what happened in past life. Like,
Okay,
does that make sense to you?
That
Right?
makes sense. Yes.
Okay, I want you to raise your right hand. I want you to tell me when your hand's raised.
My hand is raised.
Okay, I, in the year 2021, will embrace my spiritual power. Good for you, because let me say this to you. There is no doubt in my mind. Think about your intention, love. You have a pure intention. Absolutely. You wouldn't harm a flea. You wouldn't harm nothing. You don't like to see animals suffer. You don't like to see people suffer. You don't like, and we're talking even strangers. Like, would you agree?
I agree.
And do you see how that is connected to with what you witnessed with Christ?
Absolutely.
Good. And there's no doubt in my mind that you feel that you've done something wrong.
Right.
And I'm here to tell you, impossible. Impossible. There is nothing in this life that we do wrong, ever. We do the best we can with what we have until we really discover our truth. Like, would you agree?
Yes.
And just so you know, I got to be honest with you, this year, you're not even in your body. Like right now, you are all over the place. You're in a place of discernment. You're questioning everything. You're questioning who you are, who loves you, who doesn't love you, who's there for you, where you're going, what you're going to do, and all of that. And it's good because something happened last year. What happened?
I think I came to the realization that I couldn't stay in the relationship any longer.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and you don't have to disclose it here, is there would have been an event where you said, that's it, I'm done, it's over. And this person would have done something.
Yes.
Okay, just so you know. Isn't that fabulous? It's fabulous. It's like, now I know for sure you're not it. You are so not it. Your ex's name?
Oliver.
Okay, and birth year?
73.
And the month?
May 5th. So,
And the day?
3rd.
Yeah, you want to know something? He's a wall.
Okay.
And there's no doubt, like you understand, he's a wall. Like he didn't really present himself emotionally to you. Like when he didn't like something, he would put up a wall and he would retreat.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say to you, he's not it. Absolutely not. But the stinker is that you share a past life with him and you share a soul contract with him. I don't know if you heard earlier when I said about a hook.
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
Oh, like honestly, you have a hook with this male. And so what you need to do is, and a hook is where this person has the ability to, like, he would never admit he was wrong, so he would blame you for everything. And let me say this about confidence. If you are a confident person, you will never, 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 never undermine the confidence of another person. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so he's the one that lacked confidence.
Yes, that makes sense.
And you understand that he liked attention.
Yes.
That's not going to work for you. Not even close. It's like me. It wouldn't work for me either. Like, I mean, and when you're ready, and I know you're going to be ready, when you're ready, you got to promise that you're going to connect with me because I absolutely know who you should date, who you shouldn't date, who you should stay away with, and I'm going to help you pick somebody that you deserve. Does that make sense?
That does make sense. Thank you.
Don't you
Thank
love
you so
it?
much.
Like, I mean, honestly, hang on one sec. I'm going to do a calculation here for you. 2011 is a big year for you, as well as 2002.
Okay.
1993.
Okay.
1984.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just so you know, in those years you fractured and left a piece of yourself behind. And if you were to look at the relationship that you share with your father, then it connects to the partners.
100%.
Okay? And I mean, it's not like I advocate for getting drunk and having like these amazing realizations, but trust me, when I was drinking, I had some really great realizations when I was totally out of my mind, right?
Yeah.
And one of them was, I realized I was dating my father. I was dating the very same male that I grew up with. And I loved my father, don't get me wrong, but he just was not there emotionally for me. And so it's like I made a decision. And when, this is what I say to people all the time, when I met Lloyd Woods, I fell in love with this male slowly. I watched the way he was when we went out. If he asked me a question, then I'd ask him a question. It was just this beautiful thing. And I'm here to say, you need to date someone who is a 2, a 5, or a 9. A 3, never, 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 never. Just saying, okay? Like, I'm going to do a house card for you, okay, love?
Okay.
Are you glad you texted in?
I am. You made a bracelet for me, and I've been wearing it.
Good.
Since December, and this I feel has shifted me.
Yeah.
And kind of made me just more confident in my ability to make the decisions that I made. So I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, and like you're a sensitive soul. Like, you know, and this is one thing, okay, you ready? I want you to raise your right hand. Right hand up. Tell me when it's up.
Okay. It's up.
I am
am
a
a
beautiful,
beautiful,
wounded
wounded
soul.
soul.
That's right. That's who you are, love. But it doesn't mean that you can't recover. And this year you're gonna learn a lot about who you are, because there's no doubt in my mind, you and I both know that you tiptoed around Mr. Wall. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay, ready? Right hand up.
Yep.
I,
I,
in the future,
in the future,
will never,
will never,
ever, 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 never
never
tiptoe
tiptoe
around
around
my partner.
my partner.
Good for you. Like, do you hear me?
I hear you.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to do the house. Sorry, Lloyd, I hear you, darling. Lloyd had a nap earlier, so he's all gung-ho on the bell.
Oh, thank you, Lloyd.
He's so sweet. Okay, you ready? Here's coming at you, love. Look at this. It's a shift. And that's exactly where you are. So I want you, this is 10. This is where it comes full circle. When you look at the 1 and you look at the 10, for me, it's really about shaking things up. And you're going to shake everything up. You're going to discover who's been there for you during your separation. You're going to discover all about your strengths and your ability and all of that stuff, because you were living with a wall and now you're free. And all I can say, ready, Lloyd, together, yay!
Yay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being able to connect with me today. I really, truly appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
And
you...
I will connect with you real soon.
And you have a conversation with Christ, honestly. I want you just cleanse yourself, okay, love?
Okay, thank you. God
You're
bless
most
you guys.
welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
What a beautiful name. I still love the name. Thank you, Lloyd.
You're welcome.
Okay. I see, he's so cute. I'm glad that he took away the bowl gong. Hey, you know what? Okay, thank you, love. Hey, do you have some more paper there? I need more paper. I need to be able to feel the paper in my hands.
There you go.
Thanks, man. You're the best.
Doesn't sound good.
It's okay. It's all good, Babs. Oops. Okay, next, my darling.
Okay.
Thank you, love. Okay, we're going here. That dog's talking, but see how Lily doesn't respond to that. So the communication that's going on with that dog doesn't trigger Lil.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Can you spell your name for me?
COURTNEY.
Okay. Okay. Would you mind turning down the sound on your feed for me?
Yep. Sorry.
That's okay. Okay. I got your name. It's good. So just so you know, with your cornerstone letter, the very first letter of your name, do you see with an O? An O represents all about fullness. It represents about healing. It represents just like this really encompassed kind of energy. And you see with the C, it has like a little break.
Yeah.
Okay? So this lets me know that there has been a trauma in your life and that this has really impacted how you move in the world. And that there's it, and it would be like a fracture. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And then what's really beautiful, and it is really beautiful, is right beside it, you see, love, there's the C and then there's the O.
Yeah.
Okay? So this lets me know that there's no doubt in my mind that whatever that fracture is that you are on a path of healing from that, and that is like your main directive. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
And do you see the next letter, which is a U? Okay, a U is a channeling energy. which means you can draw from the energy of the universe, which means you would bask in the sun, you would love the energy of the moon and her cycles, that you would just be like, you just would call on all the universe to be and to kind of protect you. And there's no doubt as well that you're quite hard on yourself, and that when you get injured or wounded, that you sort of protect yourself, that you wear an armor.
Yeah.
So you have an armor, correct?
Yeah.
And so is the armor always activated?
Most of the time, I would say yeah.
Okay. And so tell me, what is the purpose of the armor? Like, why do you need it?
Just past experiences, really.
Okay. Let's just be honest. If I put on an armor, right? Like a suit of armor, I might be protected, but nothing gets in. So you can't receive. And so what's really interesting, I believe in armor, when it's triggered and it comes up and we can feel it come up, we can feel up this kind of protection around us, that's our spirit letting us know that something is up. Like, it's a communication. And so I want you to sit down and I want you to have a conversation with your armor, because I'm here to say that you deserve, there's no doubt in my mind that you just give of yourself. Would you agree?
Yes, most of the time.
And that you're a very loving person. And so you deserve to receive as well. So your birth year?
89.
See, you're a 9, just like me, off the bat. Two beautiful females that have an aspect just like mine. So I'm here to say that there's no doubt in my mind, in a past life you were wounded and that you were an orphan. So there's, even in this lifetime, I look at you as kind of like the black sheep. Never really fit in. Like, if you were in a group of people, like, you might connect with like 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, and it would have to be like you like a depth, kind of an intimate connection with people. And you also, whenever you get upset, you retreat and you're easily wounded. And I want you just to know that whenever you feel like, of all the energy types, Hermit is probably the one that definitely feels the injury first, and then they either implode or they explode. Okay? So, I mean, and so they're very reactive. Like, would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
And so for me, I had to go from a reactive state to a non-reactive state, because when I was in a reactive state, I would say or do things that would just dig me in a hole. And then I'd have to beg for forgiveness and feel complete shame. And so I want you really to be aware of when your armor is activated. I want you to be really aware of when you're triggered, or when someone has said something or done something where you just feel that, you know, you can just feel that triggering. Your month?
September.
See that? You're a double 9. And your day?
30.
Wow. Do you read cards?
No.
You should. You're a double 3, double 9. Like, trust me, not only are you a teacher and a mentor and a person that is here to nurture and support and encourage and promote and all of those beautiful things, but you also work with Raven energy, which is with the wounds. Like, you understand that you love to empower other people.
Yeah.
And you understand that you tend to worry about things, that you obsess about things, and what the things that you're obsessing about really don't matter. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, it's just that you'll fuss over things, right? And I believe it's a complete distraction from you doing what you're supposed to do, and that is, no doubt in my mind, you should read cards. I mean, I put 18 free lessons on our YouTube channel. You should check it out.
Okay.
You would be like an absolute natural. Like, you have the creative energy inside of you. This is the muse. I call it the seed energy. They can do anything. They're very creative and they're highly aware. Like, you understand that you have the ability to scan people that are in front of you.
Yeah.
And that you go into a room and you know where you want to go and you know where you don't want to go.
Yeah.
And you also know that you walk in 2 very distinct worlds. One world is where you're really concerned about what other people think, and then another world where you really don't care.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think, like, it's completely conflicted? Like, do you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's like there's a part of you that are so original and so interesting, and yet there's a part of you that sort of holds that back because you don't want to. There's another part of your spirit that just doesn't want to cause any trouble. But if you got a 99 in you, trust me, it's going to follow you anyways. I mean that in the most respectful way. This is a very restorative year for you. This is a year where you get to advocate. Last year you shed something. What did you shed last year in the year 2020?
Honestly, just I've been getting in tune with myself, so I cut off a lot of people, basically.
Yeah. And so how did you come? Like, you know, we don't wake up one day and go, oh, you know what? Like, I think I'm going to get rid of all these people. Like, something happened. What happened?
Betrayal.
Okay. All right, just a sec. And see, that's what's really interesting. Like, you understand. See, I mean, before I started this read, I talked about a hook. And I talked about hooks and how they're not good for us. And how what they do is they keep us in a state of resentment and anger and all that sort of stuff. And so one thing I want you to do, Courtney, is I want you to write down whether it's real, whether it's not real, whether you can prove it, whether you can't prove it, it doesn't matter. I want you to write down the people that have harmed you, okay? The people that have betrayed you. I want you to write just anyone, like anyone who has left you, anyone who has betrayed you. I want you to write the name down, and I want you just to know that there's probably, I would say 60% that you carry a hook with that person. And it just means that there's unresolved business and there's files that are connected to it. So if you can access the file, like let's say one of the people that you betrayed, that betrayed you last year, you have a file on that person. Like, do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And so if I want you to think of a person right now, I want you to think of a person that you have a file with, okay? Just one person, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have somebody in mind.
Okay. So let me ask you, is the file open?
No.
Okay. Is it active or is it dormant?
Dormant.
Okay. Is there a color to it?
I wouldn't say. I don't really put color to it.
Okay. Is it thick or is it thin?
I would say thin.
Do you see how brilliant you are? Do you understand what we just did?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think that's cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the really cool thing is I want you to write down every name of anyone who's ever harmed you. And I want you to check and see if you have a file. And I know you can do it because you just did it, okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you just to feel the file. Does it feel heavy? Is it closed? Is it activated? Is it dormant? Is there a hook with it? Is there anything in it? And then what you do is you literally look at what that person taught you about yourself and what you need. I mean, honestly, it's like just being able to look at that and going, thank you. Like, thank you for showing me who you are. Because I do believe that there's a part of you that draws people to you that will ultimately betray you. And I really think this is a year where you can say, I'm not doing that anymore. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
2013 would be a big year for you. 2004. 1995.
I can think of.
Okay. And 1995.
I can think of 2004.
In 95, you would have been 6. And so I just have to ask you, with your mother, like if you look at your mother, I believe that, like if you think about her history, would you agree that she had a certain amount of heartbreak?
I wouldn't think so, no. Because she was with my father most of the time.
Okay, but even before her father, like, did she ever, like, as a young girl?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, because you walk in the path of 6, so this lets me know that, like, not only are you very empathic, but anything you feel it 10 times more than anyone else. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that you're highly, like, you are so intuitive and so empathic that you literally can feel the energy of a dead bird on the ground. Yes, and so, like, this year for you, if I were to ask you, what would you like to restore? Like, if I were to ask you, what is it that in your life that you would like to restore?
I would say honestly, like just myself, channeling myself to my higher self.
Okay, and so does that involve anxiety?
I have some anxiety.
Okay, I've got to do this. Do you know your mother's birth year?
Yes, I do.
And her birth year is?
59.
And the month?
November.
And the day?
7.
I guarantee, like I'm saying to you, that there's no doubt in my mind that a lot of your stuff came from your mother. I guarantee you. Whether it's insecurity, whether it's doubt, whether it's fear, there's no doubt, because in 1989 when she had you, she was in a 9-year and you walk in the path of 6. So, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. And think about it. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. From now till November, that's how long we're in the body of our mothers. And so if we come from the body of a mother that has insecurity, or she has anxiety, or she has any of that, or depending on what was going on with her at the time she was pregnant with you, like, were you the firstborn?
No, I'm the 3rd.
Okay, and do you know what was going on with your mom, like, while she was pregnant with you?
No, I don't.
Okay, and do you know if she suffered any loss of a pregnancy prior to you?
No.
Okay, all I know is that there's definitely a connection. I want you just to sort of research that a little bit, just to see what was going on, because she was in a 9-year, and so there would have been something going on with her. Okay, I'm gonna do your house card. This is 3. So this is the energy of the mother. So this is the house where it's about manifestation, it's about growth, it's about teaching, it's about mentoring, but it also includes the relationship with the mother, and it includes the relationship not only with your mother, but your grandmother, your great-grandmother, the whole, if you have a daughter, with your daughter as well. So just so you know, it's really a growth. And so one thing I want you just to consider is what it is that you want more in your life. If you want more peace, then, sow seeds of peace. If you want more money, then sow seeds of fortune. But I want you to be really aware what you want to bring to your life. And I mean, I also want you just to kind of consider when the armor went up, because armor comes up when we've been injured, and usually it happens very early in our life. Okay?
Okay.
Did you like your reading?
I did. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're most welcome, and invest in some cards. You would be a natural.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, 2 9s. Sorry, Bads. Drink time.
Drink time? Cool.
I'm the second lady that we called. She called back.
Yep.
Okay. Do you know where I'm going, hon?
Where are you going?
I'm going here.
Okay.
I'm going right here. This lady has been trying to get a reading from me for weeks, so I'm going to her.
Okay.
Just 'cause.
Hello?
Hello, is this Sherry? How are you?
Lovely. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Do you notice that I'm right on you? My daughter let me know that you've been trying to get a read for a while. So anyways, here we go. So spell your first name. Spell your first name for me.
Sherry, Sheri.
Okay. And your birth year.
1978.
And your month.
July 7.
Wow. And your day.
17.
Wow. 17. Hang on one second. Wow. You want to know something? Like, you understand that for you, in a past life, I guarantee you spent a lot of time, like it's almost as if you spent almost all of your time either in your physical body or in your mind. Like, you understand that you overanalyze things.
Yes.
And that you have a pull inside of you. And this pull, how it resonates, it goes, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? And like, you're a visionary. And there's no doubt in a past life, in fact, that you were a soldier. And like, you understand, even as a little girl, that you were very responsible.
Oh yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah, like you'd have to have everything lined up. And there's no doubt, like for you, control or the lack of control is something that very much triggers you.
Yes.
Okay,
That sounds right.
we're going right to the father. Your father's birth year?
Is 12.
No, his birth year? Your father?
1956.
Okay, and his month?
12.
And his day?
23.
Okay. Wow, you want to know something? You have a past life connection with your father. And let me just see what was going on with him in 1978. So you absorb, like you understand that you absorb the emotion of your father.
Oh, neat.
And what that means is that he would struggle being able to deal with expressing himself emotionally, so you could read him and so you would absorb his emotion. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense now that I'm older.
Yeah, like, I mean, because he would have difficulty, and there's no doubt in my mind that he loves his daughter, but I guarantee he'd give you a look, and you would know in that look what you were doing, if it was acceptable to him or if it wasn't. Agreed?
Oh, yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind that you would not have shown up at 17 years old pregnant. Agreed?
I agreed.
That's right. And do you understand? Like, if I were to say the word pressure to you, like, how long have you felt pressure?
Oh, God, always.
Yeah. And you see how, and no doubt in my mind, your father believes that you could be the Prime Minister of Canada. Like, that's how much he worships his daughter. But it's at the other end of it is pressure. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
and you walk in two very distinct worlds. And so one thing I want you to do, okay, you got to raise your right hand for me. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I, in the year 2021,
2021,
am committed to do the absolute opposite of what I normally do. That's right. And so, like, with you, like, you understand, like, everything lined up is just an illusion of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just like, honestly, ask Krista. I used to have everything lined up. Like, I had to know, and it gave me a sense of security and a sense of control. And then the universe just went, no, you know what? That's not going to work. I'm going to blow up your life just to show you how little security you truly have by trying to control what's going on with you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And so, like, for you, it's like, you know, if you normally do your dishes before you go to bed, or you normally do this, or you're a ritualist and all this sort of stuff, and you have things all lined up, say, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to leave the dishes. I'm going to leave them, or I'm not going to do this or do that. And it just would be really interesting. And you also know that you have an armor.
Yeah, I know that.
So when you get upset, you pull away and you kind of, you pull, and then this armor comes up.
Yeah.
And that you're very, very sensitive to any type of dismissal, any type of shaming, any type of disrespect.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's me.
Yeah, okay, let me see. I want to do a calculation for you here. Wow, this is a big year. This is a year where you get to offload. Like if I were to ask you, how many children do you have?
3.
Okay, and the firstborn, what year did you have your first child?
98.
Yeah, and you want to know something? From that moment on, you have not really slept.
No.
No, not at all. And like you understand that for you, I mean, like, and I guarantee that you're just a beautiful mother, but you understand that for you, it just is, it's a kind of a consuming thing where it concerns your children.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, let me look. I'm going to see. Wow, see that. Like you understand. And so your firstborn name?
Kaylee.
And how do you spell?
Cailey.
Cailey. And her birth year?
98.
And the day?
20.
And the month?
2.
Wow, I knew it. See that 20 and the 2? Do you see that? I guarantee Kaylee was the very first person in your life that you felt completely loved by and completely just completely safe with.
Yep.
Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
And do you want to know?
Gave me goosebumps.
And do you want to know something that's really wild? She shares the very same energy as you.
Oh, cool.
Okay, now let me say this to you, love. Would you want your daughter to place herself under the same kind of pressure that you placed yourself on?
No.
Then do the homework. Just say, no, we don't have to worry about this. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to, let's just hang out and do nothing. Let's just watch movies and make a mess. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And because she's the very same energy as you, like, don't you think that's the coolest thing ever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Super cool.
It really, really is. Let me just see. I'm doing a calculation for you. 2019, what was going on in that year? That's 2 years ago.
It was a lead up to last year was probably worse for us.
Okay, last year, it was absolutely a year of adjustment for you, but it was rooted in 2019, and it was also connected to 2010.
That would be more connected with Kaylee then.
Okay. And then 2001.
I would have went back to work after having my second one.
Okay. 1992.
Oh, good God, I couldn't even tell you.
Okay, that'd be another year. 1983. So you would have been 5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what was going on with you when you were 5 years old?
Yep, some pretty awful stuff.
Okay. And so just so you know, there's a fracturing there. And so it also helps you to understand why you're such a freak. It's not that you're a perfectionist. It's just that when something, this is what I believe, something robs us of our innocence when we're very young. And because we have no power, and because stuff happens to us and people don't ask us what's going on with us, then what we do is we try to control our environment. So that's why I want you to be kind and loving to yourself, because it is just a response to unresolved issue in 1983, as well as when you were 14 years old. And so it's, and that's what's just really interesting. Anyone who suffered from any type of abuse as a child, when they have their first child, it changes everything. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. And so one thing I want you to consider is I want you to, like, I look at it this way. When we suffer a trauma, I believe that our spirit leaves the body and takes that trauma with it, and it puts it in a non-reality space. And sometimes it's because we have children, sometimes it's because we don't know how to deal with it, sometimes we're just too young, but we just shove it aside. And there's no doubt in my mind that this is the year where you get to revisit all of that. And that's one thing that I've just found is when we stir things up in our life, it really gives us an opportunity to kind of clear things away. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yep, totally.
And so that's why, like, last year would have just been absolutely, like, you would have just been in a state of upheaval. And for you, that's not a good thing, but it is a good thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, and so it just, you know, like, I mean, I had something happen to me in 1998. And I can tell you, from that moment on, I realized how little power I had. Like, I got a phone call that someone was dead. My whole world fell apart in one phone call. And that's when I realized, am I a powerful soul? Yes, I am. Do I have power? I don't know. I just don't know. I got a phone call one day in April that my dad was sick. The next thing you know, like, he's dying, right? So now I don't really feel that I have the power. All I have is the ability to work through those issues that are presented to me in a way that that I don't run, or that I'm present. And so no doubt. Do you have a partner?
Yes.
And the name of your partner?
Ed. E.D.
I love it.
Full name is Edward.
And Ed's birth year?
78.
And the month?
3.
And the day?
21.
Okay, let me ask you something about Edward, okay?
Okay.
Does Edward ask you questions?
Sometimes. He's not much of a talker.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again, and this time I don't want you to lie to me, okay? Does Edward ask you questions?
Yeah.
I mean, personal questions.
Yeah, sometimes.
Good. Tell him to keep doing it. Because, like, here, your Ed and you and your daughter are all the same energy.
Oh, interesting.
Which is really interesting. And so there's no doubt in my mind that if a person has 3 emperors around her, that she deep down inside has a lot of fear. Like, does that make sense?
Yep.
And so that's why I want Ed to talk to you more and really figure out what that fear is. And whatever happened last year, I want you to think about what you were really afraid of. You know what I mean? Like, and with you, there's no doubt in my mind. And I guarantee that it's anchored in when you were 5 years old. And I also want to tell you that you are absolutely protected. You walk in the energy of 5. This is angelic connection. So, anyone who has passed away, any connection with the universe, any prayer, anything, like, you have this incredible power. Like, you talk to my daughter. My daughter has the ability to manifest anything. And it's just like she just puts it out there, and you're the same way. Like, you just have this ability. And so, if that makes sense to you.
Yep.
And so what I know, there's no doubt in my mind that you're preparing to grow. So you have to get rid of some stuff. Like, I watched this, I listened to these videos all day this one day while I was working about Feng Shui. And what they say is that they suggest you get rid of 5% of stuff in your house that you don't really need, and stuff that makes you feel like you're not accomplishing stuff, like, all this stuff, right? And, like, you can ask Lloyd, like, once I started doing it, I just felt liberated. Like, I'm telling you, we took a dump load of stuff out of this house, but we gifted it to people that really appreciated it. But same with you, I want you to offload stuff because you are right on the cusp of great growth. But you got to make room for that, like, if that makes sense.
Yep, I actually just started last week getting rid of stuff.
I know,
And
doesn't it just feel great? It feels
awesome.
so great. Now let me do your, I want to do your card. Yes, Lloyd, my darling. This is 7. This is liberation. This is freedom. This is power. This is courage. This is determination. This is really being able to sort of like, no doubt, like whatever you went through last year, what you know, it should give you a sense of confidence because you got through it. You got through it. And it may have surfaced all of your fears, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do the dice on you real quick too, even though I might get Lloyd cranky with me. Let's see.
Sorry, Lloyd.
See this? Look at this. 3 10s. Something's ended. 3 10s. So something is ended. And what's really interesting is this is where you get to take back your power. And that's why I believe you're in a 2-year. So I want you to look at your wounds. I want you to make peace with your wounds. I want you to make peace with all of that. And also here, this is 6. So this is emotional kind of healing. And the one thing, like, you understand because of what happened to you when you were very young, you understand that you have a grip on your children.
Yes.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. When we have a grip, and what do you think that grip, what energy is underneath that grip, do you think?
Fear.
That's right. And so if you are sending that grip, that fear energy to your child, it's all they feel. So what I want you to do is I want you, and it's not about taking, stop being responsible parent. It's more like just saying, I do not want to have you in a grip of fear because I want you to know how much I love and trust you. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Ask Krista about the balloon. She'll tell you.
Okay.
Her friends gifted her this balloon, and she asked me to bring it safely into our apartment. And she's going, please, Mommy, don't let anything happen to the balloon. And so I was gripping that damn balloon, and sure enough, this gust of wind came and took away that balloon. And I said to her,
no.
if only you hadn't lived, if I wasn't gripping it, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to do a ritual because all they feel is fear, and I don't want that. And that's why this is a good year for you to look at the record keeper inside of you, make peace with it, so you can kind of let go a lot of the pressure you've been under.
Okay.
Did you like your reading?
I loved it.
Was
Thank
it
you so much.
was it worth the wait?
Oh, it's so much worth the wait.
Well, I'm going to check up on you, sister.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, and tell Eddie
I
to
will.
ask you some more questions.
I will for sure.
Okay. Bye,
Thanks so
love.
much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Don't you just love that? Did you see that? 3 10s.
That's
Beautiful.
pretty cool.
It's like absolute healing. Why are you looking?
Gotcha. You
Oh,
are
thank
too.
you. Why are you looking at me like that with such love, darling?
Because it's there.
Okay, we're going here. I like the readings tonight. I like it. It feels good. Thank you, Lloyd.
You
Lloyd.
don't have to give me the whole stack.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
You're okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you spell your name for me?
Sure. It's Brenda.
Okay. And so you know, Brenda, that you're not okay.
No, I know.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again, okay? Like, you ready? So, hey, Brenda, how are you?
Crappy.
Yeah. And it's just neat, right? Like, it's okay. Like, we don't always have to be on. We don't always have to be on. So, your birth year?
Is 62.
You know what? You share your first aspects with me. So it lets me know that you're a beautiful, wounded, deep spiritual soul. Like, would you agree?
Yes.
And that you are a person that no doubt has old medicine inside of you. Like, you're an old soul.
Yes.
And that you're a person that definitely struggles with people and trust and betrayal and disappointment and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's no doubt in my mind that you're kind of like the black sheep. But let me say this to you: you're a spiritual leader. You are a person that absolutely is here to inspire and promote and all of that. And you're 1 year younger than me. Your month?
It's 7.
7. See this? That's what's like. You understand you're a bit of a force.
Yes.
Like, I mean, like with you, like if I called you and said, hey, listen, Brenda, can you help me do something? Like you'd be right there, correct?
Yes.
And
I
you would, and you would just get it done.
Yes.
Yes.
Get things done.
Yes, and there's no doubt that you're a visionary. Like in your mind, you can see things. You can see the way that they should be and the way they could be and all of that. Agreed?
Yes.
But it doesn't always work out that way.
Most
Right?
of the time it doesn't.
I know. And so like it's really about just knowing and just trusting. And so you definitely have like this real I can feel your energy. It's very, very cool. Your day?
28.
28. Uh-oh. That gets you in trouble right there. 10, 19, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26. Like you understand.
It does.
Do you know what? Like you understand, like you have 3 aspects that definitely come from the air, like the universe. So I mean, like you get stuck in your head. You overanalyze.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes.
And that when you get upset, that you're easily triggered and that you literally come out of your body.
I don't know what that means.
What that means is you tend to spin or you're reactive.
I'm spinning. Yeah.
Right? And,
Yeah.
and so let me ask you, when you're in that space, why do you think you do it?
I think it's because I'm lost. I get broken and can't find where I should be.
And
I don't know if that makes sense to you.
it does make sense.
It does.
It does make sense to me because you know why, love? I believe very, very early in your life that your energy was split. And this can be through the division between the love of the mother and the love of the father. And it splits us. Like, would you agree? Okay? And so as a result, because you are a justice, you are a brilliant mind, but I guarantee for you, it's all about balance. It is all about balance. And what happens to us when, like, if there is conflict between the parents, this is what I believe. When there is conflict, whether there's violence, whether there's tension, whether there's fighting, whether there's alcohol, whatever the problem is going on between the parents, all of the energy of the family goes to the problem. And the children just try to tread water. And I believe that your energy was split. And it's not that you're lost. It's not that you don't know where you're going. It's just that your mind is divided and it goes in 2 different directions. Does that make sense? And that it's a constant battle. Should I be doing this? Oh no, maybe I'm not. So like, let me ask you, what kind of work do you do?
Well, the last job I had was office administration. I ran apartment building.
Yeah, and you would be you would be very good at that, but on the other hand, it's not enough for you. Do you know what I mean? Like you need to be in a job where you're empowering people, where you are helping people, where you're advocating for people, whether you work with the homeless or you work with people that are struggling and all of that. And I guarantee if you can sort out what's going on inside of you, that you would be a great teacher and mentor for other people, because deep down inside, you're a hero. And all I know is that your energy has been split. One thing I definitely would do, if I were to ask you, Brenda, how old were you when your energy was divided? How old?
Well, I don't remember my childhood for some reason. I think it was when I was about 7. That's the earliest I can remember. My brother was in a fatal accident. And it just, I don't know. From that point on, my life just seemed to be difficult.
That's right. And all I'm here to say, love, It's a complicated wound. I mean, and so you said that your brother died as a result of an accident?
He did, but he was brought back, and he shouldn't have been.
Okay. And so
He's
like,
gone now.
okay. And so just so you know, right there you're in trouble. Like right there you're in trouble. And it doesn't surprise me, it's when you were 7 years old. And what's going on with you right now, in this moment, at this time, is that you're in a space where you're able for the very first time in your life to restore the balance of that. You were innocent. And here's the problem. Here's this beautiful little Justice that has something catastrophic happen to her brother. And so as a result of that, all of the attention, which makes sense, goes to the child that's in this accident. Would you agree?
Yeah, it did. I watched him get hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just horrible, but yeah, it went on. My parents had to. They
Yeah.
had to be with him and help him. And
Yeah, and all I'm saying is that there's no doubt in my mind that that's even more complicated because, like, let's just say you had a sibling that got into an accident, never mind anything else. That in itself would absolutely impact you. The fact that you witnessed it even makes it more. And all I'm going to say to you, Brenda, is like, it's really well because I believe that you left a piece of yourself behind. It's like this. I'm going to share something with you. When my dad passed away, he was looking at me when he died. Like, and like the nurses said, like most people don't have their eyes. My father, eyes wide open. And after his death, I would be woken up by him gazing at me, like his eyes would come into my dream, and I'd wake up and I'd get up and I wouldn't be able to sleep and I just would struggle, and it was haunting me. My father's eyes were haunting me until one day, again, they showed up in a dream. I was awakened and I said, no, I'm not running this time. You want to look at me? Okay, let's do this. And so I just stayed and I just looked at and met his eyes, and I stayed. I didn't get up, I didn't run, I didn't do anything. And I said, okay, if this is what we need to do in order to do this, then I'm prepared to do this. And this was last year. And it was difficult, it was challenging, it was freeing, and it's never, ever, ever come back.
oh, well,
Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying because my mom died last week, but
Yeah.
and my father's gone. So I mean, I pretty much.
And you know what
all
else,
the
love?
people are gone.
You know what else? You said your brother is gone as well.
Yeah, and my other brother's dying now. He's got 3 months.
Yeah. And I'm here to say, love, you are not lost. You are not crazy. You are none of those things. Like, I've just had the pleasure of talking to you for the last 10 minutes, and all I hear with you, love, is you've gone through a lot. And so,
Oh, too much.
I know. And I'm just here to say to you that this is what's really beautiful, is you are in an Empress year, which means that there's no doubt in my mind that you are there and you're being of service and you're just taking care and you're just holding space for your brother. Would you agree? That's right.
Yep.
And you want to know something? That means that's where you need to be right now. And that's where you put your energy. I mean, it's like my mom now, she's 99. I got to be honest with you. My attention, a lot of my energy is going to trying to, take care of my mom. Mind you, we had 2 sick dogs, and so we had to shift there. But I mean, all I know is I want you just to be kind and gentle with yourself, okay? Just one sec, I'm going to do a calculation for you. 2018. That'd be a big year for you.
Oh, what happened there? That's what, 4 years, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
My sister died.
Okay. That's a lot.
And I got divorced.
Yeah.
That was a big year.
But you want to know something? This is the wild thing about Justice. Like Justice, because they're so like they're visionaries and all of this stuff, like everything, like they everything hits them like in doubles, right? 2009.
That was what, 12 years ago? My brother died.
Okay. 2000.
2000. What happened in 2000? That would have been, how many years ago was that? 21 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. And then 1991.
My dad was really ill. He died in 93.
Okay. 1982, when you were 20 years old.
I had my first son,
Okay. And your son's name?
Alan.
And his birth year is 1982, and the month?
September.
And the day?
26.
See that? I guarantee, like, honestly, like your son, I want you to think back of the birth of your son and how that impacted your life.
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge.
1973.
I don't remember what happened then.
And
I was really young.
Yeah, in 1964. These are your years. So when you were 2, and then when you were 11.
I don't know about 2 and 11. I can't remember.
Yeah. And so, like, just so you know, like, I mean, it's like, I honestly, like, do you live in Guelph?
No. I live in Hamilton, Stony Creek.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to say to you, Brenda, that because your path is riddled with every person that you have lost, I guaranteed is a contract. And so if you are interested, I would be willing to do a reading for you. And I can do it for you online if you like. And I mean, I do not go out and solicit my work because I'm so flipping crazy, stupid busy. But like, I just think it would really benefit you.
Okay. Well, I can always come to Guelph, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I want to see the store, so
Yeah.
I'm going to come to Guelph.
Yeah, like if you want to come, like, I mean, I would gift you a reading because I truly believe, but what I want you to do is number one, is I want you just to place your hands just by your heart, and I want you just to breathe. I mean, you just had loss and loss and loss, and I guarantee anyone who is listening, anyone who is hearing you, all would agree that you have suffered a lot of loss, and I'm just here to say that there's no doubt in my mind that there's a contract that there's not a coincidence that you're here. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so
For some reason.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, like, you're a justice, you're an advocate, and I guarantee that you advocated for every single person in your life. So if you are drawn and you want to have a reading, you let me know. I do. And I absolutely will read. It'll be our gift from the 9th for you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I do.
I want you to go out. I want you to go out to the moon, and I want you just to hold yourself in the energy of the moon. We just missed the full moon, but it's still pretty beautiful out there. So I mean, just allow yourself to be nourished by the energy of the moon tonight, will you?
Yeah, I will.
Okay, love. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. It's my absolute. Crazy. You take good care, love.
I will.
Okay. Bye bye.
Wow, a lot of loss.
It's amazing. It is amazing. And what's really wild is it's all in her path. And she is an advocate. She is a hero. She is a soldier. There's a reason for it. And that just was an amazing reading. Amazing. I can hardly wait to meet her. That's wild. Wild.
A lot
Thank
of
you.
threes in that one.
Yeah, there sure is. It's amazing.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Lindsay, honey.
How's it going? Who's this?
This is Rhonda.
Oh, hi, Rhonda. How's it going?
It still is pretty much the same.
Right.
And still pretty much the same. Haven't really changed.
That's okay. That's okay. You know what? Everything happens for a reason. And the fact that you're still reaching out, the fact that you're still kind of in a place of discovery, like, trust me, like, that there's a seed there, love. And sooner or later, it's going to just, you're just going to do whatever you need to do. But remind me, spell your name for me.
Sure. It's Rhonda.
Okay. And your birth year?
1978.
Yeah, I'm reading for a lot of 78s tonight, eh? Your day and month.
28. And my month is 5.
Okay. And see, that's what's really wild. Like, and a lot of the women, like, just so you know, I don't want you to worry. Like, I don't want you to worry, and I don't want you to do any of that. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, like, you and I have talked before, and so I guarantee that this is what I say to people. Don't even worry, like, just one day, you know, you're just going to get up and say, I've had enough, you know, or I'm going to change my life or whatever. So you don't even have to worry. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And you also are in a record keeper year, and this is also about being able to look at your history. Like, this is what I believe, wherever we're living right now, whatever's going on with us, there's a reason for it. Like, there is a reason, like, we sort of create our environment. And so this is but I know that you were right on the edge of complete growth. And so it's like, and that's what I find is so interesting, is that there's something inside of us. And I know it happens with me, and it happened with me, where we resist the change because we're just afraid of the unknown. Like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's okay. Like, all I know is that I look at your numbers, and I know that there's a chariot inside of you, and I know that there's an emperor inside of you, and I know that there's this beautiful healer inside of you, and that you're in a year, like last year, I guarantee you weren't even in your body. Like, last year and the last couple of years would have been very difficult for you. And so now what you're confronted with really is your history, because you understand what's going on with you is old. Like, this is not something that's just recent. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. And it's complicated because, like, you know, like, that's the whole thing about changing our life. You know, like, sometimes we'll sort of dismiss, or we'll sort of make excuses, or we sort of navigate it because it's scary to change. And so, no doubt in my mind. But what I want to do, let's do some stuff. Do you have a specific question?
I am wondering if I'll change careers and find what I really love to do, or if I'll be successful in this lifetime at all.
And see, this is what's really interesting is, I mean, like, would you agree that right at this time that there's also other things transitioning around you, changing around you?
Yes.
And do you see how, if until you sort of work through that, you almost need a job that doesn't really require your energy at this time? I can see you doing something new with your work next year, but this year it's almost as if, like, if we don't get this resolved, it's like, let me put it to you this way. We've had a lot of people looking for an online store from the 9th, from all over the place, like the states, all over the place, right? And Lloyd and I know, and so does Krista, is there is no way in this world we can open another online store, which essentially is a second store, the way things are right now. Number one, I've got a mother that definitely requires my attention, that we need to be organized and set, and that's why we're clearing out, and we did a lot of clearing out in the store in the last shutdown, because it would just be overwhelming. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
And that's what I'm saying to you. Like, and I know myself, like, and I know Lloyd, and I know my daughter. It's like, there is no way in this world that we can do that until we are ready. Like, because to be honest, like, our store is doing really well, and we're so grateful and we love it. And so our first priority is ensuring that we bring the best of ourselves to our store instead of opening up this that's going to divide our energy, right? So all I'm saying to you is I do believe that next year you're going to come into definitely a more opportunity for growth. But I have to be honest, and it's not just the reading with you tonight, it's because I've had the pleasure of sitting and talking with you before. It's almost as if I just don't want you more overwhelmed. Like, does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah,
'Cause
like,
it's like take
I-
one problem at a time.
yeah, and I love the fact, like, I know that you have interest in different readers and doing different meditations and, being involved with different groups and talking about this, all this beautiful stuff. I definitely encourage that. Anything that kind of brings you into your truth, but for you to shift, like, whatever job it is, like, let me put it to you this way. When I was going through a really, really difficult time, and emotionally difficult time, what I did was I cleaned houses. I mean, it's still energy work, but it required very little, and I was very good at it. And I didn't have to put any real effort because the rest of my life was a bit of a mess. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah. And so I want you to grow other ways, though. I want you to get working with your cards. I want you to, just do lots of readings and learn about your cards and all that sort of stuff, because that is what's really going to lead you to where you want to be. It's when we give of ourselves. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
I do.
Like, I know when we, like, at one time, my whole stuff that was going on with me was all consuming, and then, but I always read for other people, and ultimately it's what led me out to the work that I'm doing now, because there's no doubt in my mind that you are a natural born leader, that you are a person that absolutely are here to inspire, that you're kind, that you're generous, that you're non-judgmental. And so I want you to develop yourself even more. And what's really interesting, and it's not just about you, Rhonda, it's when here's a really good question for you to think about. It's like, if we are not living in a place where we feel honored and loved and supported, or we feel undermined or abused or neglected or mistreated, there is something inside of us that believes we deserve that. And that is what would be a great question for you to ask yourself. Like, does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's so true, right? Like, before I met Lloyd, I was dating this guy, really nice man, but not for me. He was an absolute wall. But the funny thing is, I'll never forget when my daughter came to me and just said, "Mom, out of anybody on the planet, out of anyone on the planet, you deserve love from someone who's really going to appreciate you." And she was so right. And here we are in our 9th year, Lloyd and I can't even believe it's 9 years I've been with this male. I can't even believe it. And he is the love of my life. And so I just want you, it's not so much what the person is not, what your partner is not bringing you or not doing. It's like, why is that acceptable to you? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do.
And so, like, no doubt. So I'm going to do your house cards. Let's do those. And then we're going to do the sticks on you. Just because I'm feeling like we'll do a little stick action on you. It's nice to hear you, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what's going on. See this? Look at this. 10. Endings, sister. Endings. Shutting something down. It's like, for me, like, I look at the 10 and it's just about, you know, coming full circle and being able to draw a line and being able to shake things up. Like, if you look at the energy of 1 and you look at the energy of 10, it's like kind of completion, right? And so no doubt in my mind, it's also about change. I mean, when you look at change and you look at energy and you look at direction of energy, so even wherever you're putting your energy or where you have been in the last few years, it's like a redirection of your energy. Like, does that make sense to you?
It does.
Yeah, like, it's just like, I want to redirect my energy. I don't want to focus here. I want to do something different that's going to be exciting. Here, this is 6. And so this really speaks about your emotions and coming full circle with your emotion, looking at your wounds, looking at healing your wounds, looking at receiving love, looking at being able to give love. I mean, it's like being in the world of relationships and falling in the arms of people that really love you. Like, I know, Raina, and there's a few people that absolutely love you. And those are the people that you just want to envelop their love for you, because I know they want the best for you. And so it's really about coming out of that chaos and just knowing that you're deserving of peace. I'm going to do the sticks on you. Hang on. I got my new sticks and I love them, man. I love them. Let's see. Gosh, doing it's making me sweat. Just a sec, hang on. You gotta wait until the right one comes out. Hello, mister. Here it is. And so this is the energy. Let me see. This is 1. This is like a 10. I mean, you've already changed. Like, you understand you're no longer the same human being.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that. Yeah. And so this
Now
just, yeah. And it's like just knowing that this change is something that you work towards. And so I want you just to keep doing the work, okay? And just know that I want you just to say the mantra, I am whole. I am going to heal. I trust in this universe. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And there's no doubt in my mind, it's about surrendering your fear. Okay? Did that help you?
It always does. And it was so nice to hear your voice and all the positive.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And I want you just to do beautiful things. Just nourish yourself, love. Go have a beautiful bath. Just do something for yourself. Get out your cards and master those cards, because I truly believe that by helping other people overcome their issues or their challenges or their heartbreaks or their stuff is just going to, you would just be so good at it. Okay?
I will.
Okay.
I'll be in touch again.
Anytime, honey, anytime. And I'm sending you lots of love.
Thank you so much, and I'm glad your doggies are doing better. I was praying for them.
I know, thank you so much. I mean, oh my gosh, it's like having 2 little kids. But you know what? We love them. I know, that's right. Thank you so much, Rhonda. You take good care.
You too. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
love. Bye-bye. She just has the sweetest voice, eh? I know our dogs. Oh my gosh. Hey, the clock stopped over there. Did you notice that? Did it stop?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's still going.
is it?
What time does it stop?
Don't worry about me, hon. I'm just losing my mind. Oops.
Well, that's okay. We'll see if we can bring it back
Wow.
or find it for you.
Hi. How you doing over there?
Good.
Yeah. Hey, hello, how are you?
I'm great, Lindsay. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you very much. Can you spell your name for me?
Christa.
Yeah, see, this is what's really amazing. Like, you know, if you look at your cornerstone letter, this is the first letter of your name. And if you notice, like with an O, it's like this fullness, wholeness. And then with the C, do you see that there's a little fracture there?
Yes.
And so this really is, it speaks about a spiritual fracturing that occurred in your life, and that this definitely has had an impact on you. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And then what's really neat is right beside that C, that is an H, which is all about healing. And this is what I love. Like, this is what I love. Beside that letter is an R. So if you look at the R, there's the spine. There's a little shield that kind of comes and protects yourself and all your emotions. But do you see the little stick that goes back to the ground?
Yes.
And that just means even though you're wounded, even though you've gone through that you still give of yourself. And the other thing that's very cool is I love right in the middle of your name is an I. And if you look at an I, it's your spine. So this is independence. This is a strength letter. This is knowing who you are, being very self-reliant, not leaning on anybody. And then if you look at your last letter, which is your capstone letter, it's an A, and so it's another bridge. I mean, I've talked to almost everyone tonight has communication with the heavens, and they get messages, and they should, you know, I'm a big one about prayer. And I'm not talking about Christian prayer. I'm just talking about prayer of gratitude. And so, yes, very cool. Your birth year.
72.
Okay. And the month?
4th.
And the day?
17th.
Okay. So there is a female that has passed around you. Who is this female?
It's my mom.
Okay. And like, it's what's really amazing is we need to go there. Okay. Like, are you comfortable with going there?
Yes.
Okay. And your mom's birth year?
53.
Okay. And her month?
12.
And her day?
20.
20?
Yes.
Just so you know, love, you have a soul contract with your mother. In other words, that your mother, like, do you see, it's kind of interesting. Hang on, 10, 17, 18. Just 1 sec, 11, 12, 13. And so, just so you know, your mom, you have a soul contract with your mother and a past life. And what's really interesting is, like, there's no doubt in my mind, and this is nothing against your mom, but she would be a bit of a pain in the neck. Do you know what I mean? Like, honestly, like, she was obsessed about her kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like my mother. Our mother is 99 years old. And I say to her, come on, Mom, let's move along here, right? Like, just joking. But at the same time, 99 years old. And you know what she says? I'm going to stay here until I don't want to leave my kids. It's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, and I mean, it's consuming. Absolutely. And so just so you know, there's no doubt in my mind. Let me see if you have a contract with your mother other than a soul contract. 7, 8, 9, 10. See this? No doubt in my mind. You absorbed her emotion. Like, does that make sense?
Yes.
And what that means is you could look at her and you would know whether she was okay. And if she was okay, you were okay. And she's not okay, then you weren't okay. Like, does that make sense?
Total sense.
And that there's no doubt in my mind, like, if I were to ask you, when do you remember not worrying about your mom?
Yeah, that would be, you know, most of my life, actually, because she became ill when I was young, was ill for her whole life, basically.
Yeah. And so just so you know, I mean, an innocent, but it has a huge impact. It's a soul impact on you, right? And so, like, I mean, and because the fact that you're so aware and you're so smart and you don't miss a thing, it would have a huge impact. So what year did she pass? Did your mom pass?
She passed in 2019. Yeah, 2019.
Okay, just one sec. I want to see what vibration. You want to know something? She restored her balance when she passed.
Good.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's a restorative. Like sometimes, like for me, like talking to me about death is just a weird thing because I know without a doubt that our soul lives forever. And it's been proven to me by people that have passed away all the time. So I know that dead is not dead, okay? And so like, and sometimes there's no doubt in my mind that she was out of balance. Like she was out of balance and now she's restored her balance. The day she passed, love.
Okay, good. Thank you.
What was the date that she passed?
She passed February the 24th.
Okay. See this? I'm telling you, she wasn't even in her body.
I believe that.
She wasn't even in her body. Like she had already left her body. Like I don't mean this in a bad way. It's like when my dad got sick, like I did not want him half here. Like, do you know what I mean? I didn't want him half dead. Like it would just be horrible, like horrible. And so like there's no doubt in my mind, like with your mom, it was like she let go. And it almost feels as if something happened 2 days before she passed.
Okay, yes.
Okay, what happened 2 days before she passed?
Well, because she became ill, and the day we found out she had cancer, she only lasted 9 days. So there was a lot of big things that happened leading up to, but 2 days before she passed, they told us that she was septis, and they had to they had to basically let her go.
Yeah.
They couldn't keep, and then she lasted 2 days after that.
Yeah, and I'm here to say it's all past life, darling. Like honestly, like I can literally tell you that the 2 days before that's when she left her body. That's when she left her body. Like absolutely left her body. And I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that she would be the type of mother that would never ever want to leave her children. But at the same time, it's like she left her body. And so, I mean, just so you know, and here's the really wild thing. Hang on one second. I've got to check something before I say it. Okay? Like, this is what I just love. It's like your mother passed in the year of restoration, which is the year of 8, okay? And so she restored herself. And you and I both know I lost my dad. When was it? Last year, honey?
2019. So it was a year ago last October.
So in 2019, I lost my father. And you and I both know, Krista, that we haven't completely worked through it yet. Like it's a process. It takes time. I'm much more better with it because of the loss that I've experienced in before my dad. But all I know is when your mother passed, she was in a restorative year. And this year for you is a year for you to restore yourself as well. And so that is what's just really beautiful. And what's really interesting is because you understand that you carry a weight when it concerns your mom.
Yes.
And so where do you carry it?
In my chest.
Okay, and what do you think its purpose is? Like, why is it there?
Honestly, I do not know.
And I mean, it's like, I guarantee that it's guilt.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, it's guilt. And it's like, I mean, like, and let's be honest, like, and I know I can say this to you, and you know that I'm coming from a very respectful place, but I watched my dad sick from April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months. Brutal. You have done it since you were a little girl. And I'm here to say to you that there was a part of you that absolutely felt a sense of relief in 2019. And it's not because you didn't love your mom. It's not because you wanted her not to be here. It's just because the fact that you don't have to worry anymore. It's it's consuming. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes. And so it's like, and what's really interesting, this is what I've learned too, is that we literally elevate people that have died, like we just elevate them, like, and we also elevate people when we break up with them. Oh, he was the best boyfriend. Like, it's such a lie, right? And all I know is that I want you to have a conversation with your mom, because this is what I've learned about guilt. And this is through my own recovery from someone that I lost, is that my guilt, I had a vision, a dream, and it showed me that my guilt put the person that died back into the body of when he was on this earth. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. I'll tell you quickly. I was married to this guy, and then he died, and it's complicated, okay? And then after his death, I had this dream. Like, I was in a long skirt, bare feet. I went into Zayre's, and as I came around the corner, there was Raymond. And when I was married to Raymond, he was a quadriplegic. He had suffered a car accident in 1977, and he had a spinal cord injury. And so in this dream, I go into Zayre's, and I see him, and he's stacking these shelves, and I'm going, oh my God, Raymond, like, I didn't think I'd see you today. And then bam, he went right back in his chair. And then I woke up, and I went, oh my gosh, and I asked everyone, what is the meaning of this dream? And this is back in like 1998. And, I'd ask people, and they'd give me, and I'd go, no, that's not it. And so finally I asked the universe, and the universe said to me, absolutely, your guilt put him back in that chair. And then I said, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in a different way. So instead of feeling guilty about his death, what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit myself to doing work that will benefit other people in my life. That I was going to commit to healing myself, that I was going to love more, that I was going to live more, that I was going to be more authentic, that I was going to be more real. Like, do you see how that is a better way to honor the legacy of someone that we love?
Yes,
so,
I do.
What I want you to do, and you just do it whenever, and I want you to call on your mom, because she wants to help you. She wants to help you lift that. She wants you just to lift it, because you understand your mother was a record keeper, and that what that means is that she would absorb her emotion. She didn't communicate what was going on with her, correct?
Yes.
Okay? And do you see how that kind of stuff that we don't communicate, that sooner or later, it's like, it just makes us sick, right? And so what I want you to do is I want you to summon your mom and say, you know what? I talked to this weirdo numerologist, and she told me that we have a soul contract, and that we have a past life contract, and that you live and dwell inside of me, and that I want to honor you, and I'm going to ask you, Mom, please, love, help me get rid of this. Please, just take it from me, and know that I'd be so grateful, and she would want to help that. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's amazing, yes.
Ready? Right hand up. Up. Tell me when it's up.
It's up.
I
am
and was
the
most amazing daughter. There you go. It's like, it's just like that. It's like just so beautiful. When my dad passed away, I bought gongs, 39-inch gongs, 2 of them, to honor him. I take him all over the place. We have a Christmas cactus that my sister gave me, and I've never had a cactus that's ever bloomed. So I said, come on, Daddy, make this cactus bloom. Please, make it bloom. And if I were to take the computer into our spare room, there it is, just blooming. And there's my dad. Well, actually, I moved him. I moved him because I think, okay, you did your work, now change the energy here. But it's like, I want you just to do something beautiful. Like, do you read cards?
I read them for myself because I'm not confident enough.
Well, you want to know something? Like, wouldn't just do it. You're not doing brain surgery. I mean, I put 18 free, lessons on YouTube. Just do it. Don't you think that would be a better way to honor the legacy of your mom by doing something beautiful for somebody else.
Yes, because
Yes.
that's what my mom did her whole life. Everybody remembers her for being the nicest, kindest, and biggest hearted. So yeah.
I know, and like there's no doubt in my mind, but she still was a pain in the neck. Like, I'm sorry, like, I mean, you know, she'd fuss and worry and worry and worry. It's like, I'm not worrying. I'm not going to worry. So I want you to call in the essence of your mom, and I want you to say, please, Mama, please help me, darling. Just take it from me. Like, just take it away, because I guarantee that she's in a restorative space. That's where she is. Hang on one sec. I know Lloyd's on me, but it wouldn't be the first time. Let me see. And see, you want to know something in 2019? Just saying, okay? When your mom passed, you were in a 6 vibration, which means when she passed, love, you cried about everything. About all the times that you had to be strong because you didn't want her to see your fear. You just absolutely just cried and released all this stuff. And whether you know it or not, it just helped release you. Like, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. And it's like, because you and I both know that you have to pretend that everything's okay when it's not okay. And with you, you were so smart and you were so intuitive. Like, you would have seen that she was not, she was not okay. Like, do you understand?
I totally.
And you know that you could see that she had no color around her
Mm-hmm.
and that she was gray.
Yes.
And you could see when she was suffering and in pain.
Yep.
That's right. And so do you see, love, if you can do it for your mom, that you could do the very same thing for other people, because that is inside of you.
Okay.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, it's not a coincidence. We can't just read our mother. We can't just read our children. We don't just read our partner. Like, we have the ability to read anybody, honestly. My mom thinks I'm pretty special, and I think I'm pretty cute. But, I mean, we all have the ability. We do it all the time. We do it every single day, probably 20 times a day we read people. No doubt in my mind. Okay, now let me see. I'm doing a calculation. 2013.
Okay.
Okay. 2004.
2004. Okay.
1995.
Okay.
1986. And 1977. So you would have been 5.
Okay.
And you want to know something? I have to tell you this. I swear, in a past life, she walked beside you. And this time around, it was you having to walk beside her.
We had a very strong connection.
Yeah, you still do.
Mm-hmm.
You still do. And so, like, you know, and it's one of those weird things that honestly, like, I believe in a past life, I believe you were your mother's father. That's what I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind. Like, 0 doubt. Like, 0.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And so that's why, like, there's no doubt in my mind that you were, like, when I do the past life decks, like, I come on once in a while, and when I'm doing the other readings, like, I'll do the sticks, or I'll do my past life deck, or I'll do tarot, or whatever. If you are around and you want, like, we can look at that again, but I guarantee you that you were the mother, and that she was, and that you were the father, and that she was the child. And that's why you felt so responsible. And it's not just about this lifetime of seeing her sick at such an early age, but it's because it came forward from a past life. And I do believe that you were the father, and I do believe that no doubt in my mind, that she did almost the opposite for you, that she was there while you were dying in a past life.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind, like, 0. Like, when my dad was dying, like I said to my one sister, I feel I have to stay because I feel like I was his mother. and in a past life, and then I discovered afterwards, and that's what I love about numerology, because I could kind of connect it all. I discovered that I wasn't his mother in a past life. In fact, I was his father, and there is no doubt in my mind that absolutely, because I guarantee out of everyone around her, she trusted you the most. No doubt in my mind.
Yes, but you're 100%
And
right.
she relied on you the most, and you were her rock, you were her tower, and I guarantee the only reason that you could be a tower in this life under those extreme circumstances is because you walked as a tower in the past. Yeah, no doubt.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, and it's so true. I'm going to do the cards for you. One of our dogs just kind of let out a little, we're going to fanning the room.
Gas.
Here we go.
Dog, yeah.
Here we go. 6. See this? This is all about emotional restoration for you. So, I mean, I want you to call on your mom. I want you to have a conversation with her. I want you to say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to honor your life. You are so loved. You're such an amazing legacy. And I am going to pick up a deck of cards and I'm going to give back just like you did. And trust me, it's going to change everything for you.
That would be nice.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, it's like, it's fresh, like it's still fresh. Like I'm not dismissing your loss at all, but I just want you to know you're in a restorative year. You're in the very same vibration this year of healing as your mom was when she restored and let go. And I guarantee you, she did not feel pain. She was out of her body. She just drifted off.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind, like none. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome, and try not to get too stuck in your head, by the way. Just saying, okay? But anyways, thank you, love.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, amazing readings tonight. Like, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really amazing readings. That's why, I mean, I love going on, and I love doing just the you know, intuitive,
Just the random things.
Random, but just amazing.
Yeah.
So we're done? We're good?
Well, it's 9 o'clock. There was one missed call, so don't know if you want to do some overtime or contact her later.
Well, we'll be back next Tuesday, hopefully.
Okay.
So if that's okay, like just because, I mean, the readings we had tonight, like, there were lots of really beautiful readings. So come say bye, Lloyd. Come and sit here with me.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank all of you for all of your trust in us.
Thank you for joining in.
Here's Lloyd.
And we will see you again next week.
Yes.
And
Have a beautiful weekend.
we will have a beautiful weekend, and it is Easter weekend, so hopefully the Easter bunnies have been very plentiful and giving as much as Easter bunnies can be. And again, we'll hope to see you in the store soon.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Take care.